Today I'm gonna make some house skates with these platform sneakies and these Century no-toe stop plates. I'm Throbbs with Madam Quad, and I want a new pair of skates to skate in the house. So I need a fresh setup. And believe it or not, even though I work at a skate shop, I haven't had a new pair of plates in like 5 years. I have the same two setups and I just switch out the boot when I need. I like my plates, they're still good. You know, plates last forever. You just recycle them. So like, what's the point? But the point is, I want to try something different. So I'm excited. I'm also excited to try out the platform sneaky because I'm curious like if it makes an effect on the performance. Like being this far from your plate, is it going to affect skating? Like is it going to feel different? I don't know. So also with these, they actually don't bend. So I don't need an aluminum insole, I believe. So we'll test that out too. When you're walking, it's like you're rocking. It's kind of weird. So I think they'd make better skates than shoes probably. But that's just true for every shoe. I can handle this. First step, the center line tool thingy. So we're gonna line up the heel and then, ooh, these shoes are fat. That's funny, they like barely fit in the tool because they're so thick. I like that. Here we go. We're gonna mark it in the back and mark it sort of in the front because the very front is way up here. I don't think that the balance of the skate is going to be affected. I mean, the toe is always kind of curled up on like other sneaker shoes. Like it doesn't really, it's never attached to the toe. As long as the wheels are mounted in the correct position under the ball of my foot, that would be a standard mount. It should be good. We got some little markies. And now we are gonna line these babies up, poke some dots, and drill some holes. Actually, you know what I like to do is I like to put the trucks in just to see where the wheels are gonna be. I like to even visualize and just make sure that the mounting is exactly where I want it to be. So I'm gonna just put together one of these plates, pop a couple wheels on, and so I can visualize the end product and put the holes in the right places. These trucks are a little bit different. They have the extra nut at the bottom of the kingpin. You gotta unscrew this bolt all the way, or this nut all the way down to then actually be able to fit both pieces in. And then you can screw it in a little, and then screw this guy up a little, and then screw it down some more. It's just a different design with the jump bar, which I haven't put on, but I'll take it apart anyways again. So. Let's see, what other kinds of fun skates have we made before? Oh, we made some out of unicorn slippers back in the day. They were a bit precarious. Get some leverage. That's always a good tip. If you can't do something, just find a way to get a little leverage, you know? Well, these sure are grippy. So I'm just gonna pop a couple wheels on just so I can sort of visualize. Line it up where I like. When I line it up, then I'm gonna mark the back of the plate on the bottom of the shoe. So then I can line my plate up with the center and draw the dotties. They also point up in the back as they do in the front, just like less dramatically, and I think that may pose a challenge. Whenever I have a challenging issue building skates, or anything really, like we've built some storage shelves before, like a ramp and, you know, P-rail, but I like to ask Milani because she's got some good creative building ideas. I also like to give her a call whenever I can't find something in the shop. I go, I don't like to look with my eyes. Can you please help me find the pencil sharpener? So now that I've marked the back, I'm going to take the plate that doesn't have the trucks and I'm gonna line it up and poke some holes and then drill it. And line it up also with my mark. I'm gonna draw a little bit further up. Whoop. So this tool is really nice, but a good thing to remember if you're mounting a shoe, you would think looking at it, you know, knowing that it's supposed to be center, that you would want the end of the plate to line up right here. But actually, center is between like your second and third toe. So it's actually a little bit off what you would see like, you know, visually. And that would be the center line. So it's important to remember that. So I am both lining up my plate with the back, the line of drawn for the back of the plate, and then also for the center in the front and the back. And now I'm gonna draw some holes. Measure twice, cut once. I should really have more of those because I'm like from like the southern US and like I can never remember, like, you know, aunties like always have just like gems of advice. Ding 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 ding. I need to double check, but you can see like there's gonna be like probably a little bit of an issue, you know, if you're drilling that close to this little edge in the groove of the treads. Your drill can slip. This one, yeah, definitely need to measure that again before I drill. All right, that looks pretty good. And then this one, yeah, this one I think should also be where the other one is, just down slightly. Okay, now we're ready to drill. Whoop-de-doo. In front of my face. You know, my boyfriend likes to put on his Filipino mom accent and just tell me, are you looking with your eyes or with your mouth? I like to use the 8. It's an 8. It's good to stuff some cardboard inside the shoe so you don't drill all the way through and then through upper material. We've got some foam, that'll work. Stuff that foam in the toe. It's important to get the angle right with this because the sole is so thick. So I just want to make sure that I'm at the right angle and going like straight down. So soft. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? Get the insole out. Oh, look, I almost drilled a hole in the insole, but I did not. Yeah, there's like a layer. It's like a layer cake. You're like through the cakey, the like soft angel food cake batter halfway through, and then there's like something in the middle that's just like a little layer of like icing that's like just dried up a bit. And you're just like, so the other thing is, since I'm not using an aluminum insole, I'm repurposing these little metal plates, right, that were attached to some bolts for a different plate that we have, but the bolts aren't long enough, so I've got to change those, and I've got to get these out. She was supposed to show me how to do this before she left. Hey!
Right. Just hammer it out, yeah.
Hammer it out like this way, right? Like slightly off?
So where it's slightly off, make sure there's another piece of wood to actually give it traction. So put 2 pieces of wood next to each other.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
So we've got this little workaround, and we're gonna hit this nail out right in the middle. This is not a power tool, but I feel powerful. What I was doing was repurposing these metal plates because I'm not using an aluminum insole, so I need something to keep the screw from going down into the sole of the shoe. But they were like really attached to some bolts that were far too short. I had to hammer them out. Now I gotta hammer them flat, and then we're ready to, stick some bolts through and see if the bolts are long enough. These are the longest ones we have. There we go. Just long enough. All right, I'm gonna do the other one. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's start with the back because that's gonna be the tricky one. You just want to get like all 4 bolts slightly in, and then you can start pushing down. So you can see it doesn't like lay flush, but we will tighten it as much as we can. That will probably correct some of it, as long as it feels secure. All right, mounting bolts, little plates. Another tool we didn't have for a long time were these extra long ratchet heads. And oh my gosh, that was such a time saver because, you know, you can put a long bolt, you can screw it all the way down on the long bolts with the drill instead of doing it by hand. Love it! Gotta be careful not to tighten them too much, I think, or they'll just like cut right into that angel cake. We'll be right back. I have to undo some things and redo them. This is not an interesting portion of this program. All right, so I had to take off the little nuts I put on there and I put on the more like standard nut because the bolts, when I was like trying to break them off, they kept bending like underneath the nut and the plate and it was gonna break off in a weird place that would not have been functional. I've tightened it a bit extra, so it's kind of pushing down, but I think that will be better for stability and getting these bolts off. You know, I'll break it off first and then just tighten it a little bit extra. All right, oh, much better, oh my God. Much better. I saw your nuts. There we go. So yeah, these were pretty tricky. I think like you really need to make sure that pivot arm is nicely in there before you start screwing down the bar, the jump bar. I'm just remembering to put the jump bar in. It just stabilizes. It's a kind of old school design. Just lining things up and then I'll tighten everything. I love this tool. Like adjustable wrench. It's very useful. Jump bar underneath. You gotta push that pivot arm in. Start screwing. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Okay, time to pop the wheels on. Actually, I have 2 choices here. They're both sugar. I have the Velvet, which would be a good rink skate, and the Fame. And I think I'm gonna go with the Fames and try those out. I got some pink ones. All right, popping the wheels on. We're getting so close, so close. Oh my God, I got blood on the shoe. Classic. Size 13, fits these axle nut. I gotta tighten these tricks. Ah! Ah, I'm done. Victory! So the build was like pretty straightforward and I'm looking forward to testing out how it is going to feel skating on these big marshmallow platform soles. If my neighbors complain, I'll just switch to soft wheels because this is Hong Kong and we're all in everyone's business. But building them, really not much of a problem, and the normal bolts that go through like the heel of a heeled skate worked fine. So didn't really have to have too much like special hardware, and got a new pair of skates for the first time in like 5 years, or a new pair of plates anyways, I should say. Thanks for sticking around. I hope that you learned something with me. Like and subscribe, and let us know in the comments if you want to see like us try something experimental, something a little bit different that you're curious about, if it would work or not, and we can do the grunt work for you. All right, peace out. That's so dated. Oh my God. What do the kids say? Tie, tie. Oh, tie, tie. Bye.